Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome everybody. There we go. Okay, everything working. I assume everything's working okay. The camera's working okay. I can see myself in the picture. Is the voice working okay? You can hear the sound. It'd be nice if you can. Leave a comment down below if you can hear everything. I'll just try everything works. Hello, everyone. Yeah, everything's working there. Sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah. So here we go, 3 o'clock. 2 minutes. Yeah, you can hear Kevin Russ. Thanks very much. Mick, morning from the UK, Les. Good morning. 9 o'clock in the morning in the UK now. I suppose it beats getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning for those people that come onto the live stream as they did before when the clocks were at a different time. 9 o'clock is a sensible time to get up in the morning, isn't it? Little buggies flying around. So good morning. I've got my cup of coffee, retired and living the dream. And here we go. This is your chance to ask any questions that you may be wanting to know the answer to. Things that are happening in Thailand at the minute. It's all up in the air. I think the things that are going on. I personally think Thailand is shooting itself in the foot with what's going on. The tourist numbers are down, not just in the tourist locations, but everywhere else as well. According to the government, everything is going a bit peatong. And there's been a number of videos made on YouTube about why the tourists leave and where they're going to and things like that. Now, I've got my own opinions on that, and I'll share them with you as we go through the live stream this morning. But is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't know. It depends how people feel, doesn't it? You know, if the grass is greener on the other side and other countries are offering a bigger incentive for you to come, well, you're going to come, aren't you? And I think that's what's happened with the Chinese. Apparently, the Chinese tourists down by 30%, and they're favouring Cambodia and Vietnam at the minute. Now, I think it's like everything else. If the tour guides are being offered more money or more cash, more incentives or more commission to bring the Chinese to Vietnam, then they're going to plug Vietnam and Cambodia. And Cambodia and Vietnam are a good choice to go to as well. Now, I've never been to Cambodia, I've got to say, but I've been to Vietnam, and Vietnam is as cheap as this place, if not maybe a little bit cheaper, and again, stunningly beautiful. I've travelled all the way from the southern Vietnam right the way up to the north, and it impressed me everywhere that we went. The standard of hotels, the standard of service, the price of everything in Vietnam is very, very good. So if Vietnam are offering a better deal, that's where people are going to, isn't it? James Aspen, everything's okay and the sun is shining in London. Good. As long as everywhere looks nicer, doesn't it, when the sun is shining? That's for sure. Definitely shooting themselves in the foot. Bank account, visas, tax issues. Well, exactly. You've hit the nail on the head type thing. You know, why don't the... For me, it's a bit like what's going on in the UK at the minute. There's all this uncertainty, what's going on, and disruption and stuff like that. People like calmness. People like to know what's going on. People like to know and to be assured. It's like the 60-day visa, exemption. They were going to change it. They're not going to change it. They're going to change it. They're not going to change it. And at the minute, it's still up in the air. They haven't made a firm decision yet. So apparently up to now, you can still get 60 days and then another 30-day extension. But that is likely to change at any given moment. Then I watched a YouTube video yesterday and they said it doesn't look likely to be changing until next year. So again, there we go. And I live here, so I'm sort of boots on the ground and here and see what's going on. And, there's no certainty. The bank issue is a big thing. But I can understand why the banks are doing what they're doing, because there's a lot of scams going on in the minute in Thailand. a lot of mule accounts and things like that. So I understand the banks are going to crack down on that. And it's the same with when you use the visa agents. The banks are looking upon if 800,000 baht, 900,000 baht goes in your bank account, 3 minutes later it comes back out again. There's something a little bit fishy going on. And so, yeah, I can't blame them for looking into it. They're tightening everything up a little bit. But apparently, some of the agents can still obtain bank accounts for people with tourist visas. Maybe it's not with a preferred bank, which is the Bangkok bank. Maybe it's with Kasikorn or SCB banks, but it still can be done. And of course, the prices have gone up a little bit as well, haven't they? As they would do. If anything's more difficult, the prices go up. Howdy, Les. The rioting in LA is another reason why I need to get my act together and leave the West. So what's the rioting in LA for? Is it something to do with the illegal immigrants and things like that? That's happening around the world now, isn't it? Struggles to go to Cambodia in the minute, Les. Tensions. Yeah, there's tensions at the borders. I wonder what happens with the where you go at the borders for you log out and then log back in again. I would imagine that's a little bit up and down at the minute. So yeah, I mean, Cambodia, there's a bit of tensions. There are mass troops in Cambodia, and the Thais, I think it's a bit of saber rattling and stuff like that. But will it come to anything? Fingers crossed that it doesn't, because then it's just another nail in the coffin for Thailand, isn't it? The bank issue worries me, as I have an account obtained during the tourist visa. I'm married to, well, if you're married to a Thai national, you're probably in a far better position. They may freeze it as a precautionary thing, but it's like everything else. If you go to the bank and if you're married, everything should be just glossed over. And once you get that stamp from the bank to say everything's okay, you should be okay. Don't quote me on that, because you never know in Thailand, does it? But again, being married, you've got a lot more cards in your favor than being not married and just on a tourist visa and things like that. Again, where else in the world can you get a bank account opened if you're just visiting for, as a tourist? So again, why should Thailand be any different in reality? There are other ways to do it. Like if you've got a transfer Wise account or Wise account, you can get one of their cards and then just pay everything with a card. I mean, like over here now, everything is, the QR codes for paying everything. And my wife was no exception when she was selling the sausages. I mean, sausages and the snacks were 10 baht each. People were paying, because she got a QR code, 10 baht or 20 baht for a sausage. On your phone, everything's done hunky-dory. So there are ways. It might cause a little bit of problem, a few more problems, but if you get your ducks in order and look at everything before you come, and just it's a a bit of a discomfort having to do things like that, but it's not impossible, is it? You can still draw your money out from your home countries, but that's going to cost you maybe 250 baht, which is like a $5 or $7 or $8. But if you go at the bank and draw money on your card, I don't think you have to pay them charges anyway. So it's not impossible, is it? It's a little bit more complicated, but it's not prohibitively responsible to stop me from coming here. The costs in flights and things like that, the exchange rate is hovering around for 44 baht to the pound now. It'd be better if it was higher, but it's like everything else, isn't it? 44 is better than 43, isn't it? You should be okay as you are married to. Yeah, again, you'll be a lot better off because you're married to a Thai. Hi, Les from John Tierney. I sent you a message about how can I volunteer work when I'm on a non-retirement visa. I'm sorry if I didn't answer you. It just rings a bell that now. Somebody sent me an email about that. It depends. Well, it's not dependent. In reality, in the letter of the law, you still need a work permit to be able to do some voluntary work here in Thailand. When I first came, I was going to work for the Father Ray Foundation for the orphanage in Pattaya. And then I went to see them. They said, oh, no, if you do some regular voluntary work, you need to have a work visa. So, again, that's going to cost you money to be able to do properly on a voluntary basis to work for somebody. But again, I do a little bit of voluntary work for Michelle and the cat sanctuary, and I do 1 day a month. But I help her. I don't work. I go around and help her out, see if she wants anything doing, helping hand, if you like. And I think if it's a proper bona fide charity, the people in power will turn a blind eye, because I think at the end of the day, it doesn't do the officer any credence if he shops somebody that's helping somebody in a charity. I don't think it'd be well looked upon to get his numbers up for somebody illegally working to capture somebody. That's, if you get me drift anyway, I'm trying to say it in a roundabout way without actually saying the words myself. So yes, voluntary work, keep it short, keep it simple, and don't flout the law. If you're helping somebody out and a charity, I think you'd be okay. But if you want to do something like 2 or 3 times a week for the big organisations, then it may cost you some money to do it legally. I don't know how much it would cost to get a work visa for voluntary work. It's something I've never looked into. Checking in, mate. Thanks very much. Thanks for joining us. We've got 38 in the house up to now. 41 now. Wow, it's rattling up. Everybody must have got up early today. Thanks very much for all those people who've just joined. Thank you very, very, very much. And again, this is your chance to ask any questions you want. I do these live streams for the benefit of people, for the benefit of the people who want to come here or are living here and they want to know some questions and things like that. And I've been here for 13 years, so I know 1 or 2 things about living here. And now you can sort of navigate the system, if you like. Value for money, it's well worth it over here. Even though at the minute Thailand is getting all this bad press, thousands of people are leaving Thailand. When all said and done, I've got no plans on leaving. I'm very, very happy here. I'm very happy with the situation. I'm very happy. You just go with the flow. In 13 years, it's been up and down, up and down. It's not a country where you can look at the next 10 years and say, oh, everything's going to be hunky-dory. But what country is going to be like that now? England certainly isn't going to be like that. And, the European Union countries, they're not the best places to live in either now. They have their troubles. Everywhere has their troubles. But here, you just go with the flow. That's my opinion anyway. Yeah, that was me that sent you. I'm sorry for not getting back in touch with you. Usually I answer all the emails, but it must have just got mislaid somewhere. I do apologise. But yeah, that's the answer to it. If you need to work for a charity properly or somebody to do voluntary work, just go and have a word with the immigration officer and they'll tell you how much it was likely to cost you to have a work visa to do voluntary work. But again, it's going to cost you. If you're going to do the odd 1 or 2 days a month, then I wouldn't bother. I'd just go, keep your head down and don't be doing it, certainly in public. Like if you're painting something, don't be on show in front of all the Thai people. Right. Darth Son, do you think that there will be much blow back against the Americans when the Trump's tariff goes on next month? I don't know. Restoration Archive. Hello, Les. Is this thing working? Yeah, that thing is working. Wherever you're doing, it's working. I've got your message on there. The blowback with Trump again, is it going to work? I've no idea. I think at the end of the day, with the tariffs, if you still want it, you'll pay the price that they're asking, and if you don't want it, then you just go and shop and buy something else. You know, when all's said and done, it's the people who suffer, not the people who are charging the tariffs. They just pass the cost on to somebody else. Again, like with all the tariffs in America, Trump's put all of these tariffs on everything, and it's the people who end up paying. And the government's going to get the extra money from it, and the people will pay it. It all depends how much you want it. Now, for me, if there was a European version and it was cheaper, then we all pay with our wallets at the end of the day. So who knows? At the minute, the world's in a turmoil, isn't it? All of these things that are happening all over the world, and us, the normal, everyday working people, can't do anything about it. It's what the big wigs want to do. It's the big wigs that control the world, and they will do whatever they want to do. And sadly, it's us, the normal people, that will pay for anything and everything that happens. So again, that's my little bit with regard to the politics of it all. It's not going to work. For me, it's just creating a mess, isn't it? And the whole world is paying for these people to play with our futures, if you like, on a whim. Because multi-millionaire people are the very, very wealthy people. Whether it goes up 10 or 15%, it doesn't matter to them. But 10 or 15% to the average working person is a lot of money. People go on about the cost of living going up here in Thailand. It goes up maybe 4 or 5%, well, 3 or 4%. I think the inflation rate is this year, but 3 or 4% on not a lot of money isn't a lot. But if you're paying, high price for everything else in your home country, 3 or 4% is a lot of money. It's like, let's take rent for instance. This house where I live now, people will have seen this house. We used to rent it for 12,000 baht a month, which is about £260 a month. So if that went up, say 10%, it's not a lot of money, is it? 260, £26 a month. If it went up 10%, now 10% rise is a big, big rise. But if I was paying £1,000, which I would be paying at least £1,000 a month to rent something similar to where I am now, at least 1,000, if not more. But yes, let's use £1,000 as an example. And the rent went up. It went up, 10%. That's 100 quid. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. So I'd sooner the percentage goes up here and my salary goes up every year, goes up with inflation or wherever. So wherever the inflation rate is here in Thailand, my pension increase every year more than matches that. Is why I like living over here. Now in the UK, with everything going up, the council tax is going up, the electricity is going up. Rachel Reeves is having another budget in, was it autumn time, and the way people are going on now, everybody's going to end up paying more taxes. She's doing a spending assessment on the 11th, so some severe cuts are going to. And where's all the good news? There isn't any good news at the minute going on in the UK. Everybody's suffering. So just look to see where your pound or your dollar goes a lot further than where you are now. And there's multitudes of places to do that. Again, I get 1 or 2 people who send me emails, say that I'm bad mouth in the UK and I live there and I should be grateful. And I am grateful for the UK. The UK gave me the education and opportunity to be able to work to get the position where I am now. It's never, ever been given to me on a silver spoon or a silver platter. I've worked for what I've got. I've done what I needed to do to be able to have the lifestyle that I've got now. It's my choice and my chances. And that's the same with everybody else. Everybody else is in the same boat. And I don't knock the UK because I'm forever grateful for when I was brought up in the UK. But I just use my observations and see what's going on at the minute. And it's my observations, not knocking things. And like the favorite question that my answer back to them is, tell me one good thing that's happened in the last 15 years. And I'll take every single post down that I've talked about the UK going down the pan. And not one person yet, not one single person has told me one good thing that's happened in the last 15 years. So again, that's a challenge for, if somebody wants to write in the comments, name me one good thing that's happened in the last 15 years. Because there's nothing good happening at the minute, is there? The UK government are crazy with their sun dimming crap. They are changing the climate to stop the climate change. Crazy. Apparently, in one of the papers today, Ed Miliband is insisting that every single new house built will be provided with solar panels. Now, solar panel technology moves on so fast. So within 5 or 10 years, all them solar panels will be, a better quality solar panels. It should be up to the person who decides whether they want solar panels or not, and how much will they charge and put on as an extra to building a house with all of these solar panels that are already on. There's one guy, subscriber, he had a house in the UK and he was selling his house, and he's had a big trouble trying to sell his house because he's leased his roof out to some company that put solar panels on his house. He got the free electric, but they leased the space on his roof to be able to do it, which stopped him, in essence, of selling his house, because then the new occupiers would have to agree that the lease for the sun panels on this roof. It just created a whole big problem. So are these going to be built up problems for the future? And when all said and done, Rachel Reeves was on the news of the day. I forget which program it was now, but supposedly 1 in 3, or was it either 1 in 3 or 3 in 5 houses, new builds, are going to be given towards the people that are arriving on our shores, if you like, if I put it that way, if I put it delicately, that they will be in line for these brand new houses. Now, wouldn't that be nice? Jim Craig, yeah, can I ask a question? Of course you can. Regards to banking, have you managed to retain the UK bank account whilst living in Thailand? Yes, I've still got my account with my bank. I do everything by post, so they send me bank statements. I haven't told them that I live in Thailand, to be fair. I use my sister's house as a postal address. I have a banking app with them, which I don't use, and I've got a chip and pin machine if I need to transfer money and things like that. So I still have a bank account. Apparently, the bank that I've got, if they knew I lived in Thailand, then they'd close the account, because I don't know why. But yes, I've still got a UK bank account, and long may it last. They know, I think they have an idea that I live in Thailand, because I transfer my money to Wise every month, so it goes out of my bank account in England to the Wise account. Now, that can go anywhere in the world, can't it, once you transfer it to Wise? So I could be living in Europe or something like that. Thankfully, they've never asked. But if they do ask, then I can get my fire brigade pension sent direct to Thailand, and I'm due to get my state pension next year, so I could get my state pension sent direct to Thailand as well. So if it happens, it's not a big shake. It may cost me a little bit more money to transfer the money across, but let's fingers crossed that it doesn't happen. Apparently somebody had the same problem. HSBC Bank, he's got an account with them, and they're fine with him living in Thailand. As long as money's going into the account, then they're happy with that. So have a look at the HSBC Bank in the UK, and you may be pleasantly surprised with them. I don't know. Restoration Archive AI is good for me, because I'm already retired and do not have to have a job to get my income, which is good. I live on my pension. I live on about 14 or 1500 pounds a month. I live a good lifestyle in Thailand. I'm going to do another cost video. It's been a couple of years since I was looking at one of the videos, and it's been a couple of years. So it's probably 65,000 baht a month I live on now. I know I've did a couple of videos on living on 50,000 baht a month and 35,000 baht a month. And I was showing a gentleman a few months ago who was going to pull the trigger, and he's going to live on £1,000 a month over here. And he asked me to show him around to see what he could get for £1,000 a month. And I showed him everything, the standard of accommodation that he could afford, where he could live. And it's basically across from a beach as well. He can still go drinking. And believe it or not, with the price of the food where we went, he can have quite a good lifestyle. And he would still have £250 a month saved out of his £1,000 a month. And I said to him, this could be used towards his adult entertainment, if you like. So he's got £250 after everything else has been paid for adult entertainment, if he so desires to do. But it just goes to show that you can live on £1,000 a month over here. There's one or two other videos that I watched. And, they're living on 80 to 100,000 baht a month, which is, wow, if I had that amount of money, I'd super duper lifestyle. But again, I'm not a bar person, adult entertainment, I'm not interested in. We live in a semi-rural location. I'm married to a Thai, so we eat in or eat out. We can afford to pay the bills, and 1,400 to 1,500 pounds a month is easily doable. And we have our holidays included with a lot of money as well. So yeah, it is easy to do, and it's not expensive to do. I believe you can use Wise account as a bank account, so you can get your pension put into. Well, yeah, again, as I say, thanks for that. I'll look into that. So I'm sure that if they were going to cancel my bank, they'd give me a month's notice or something like that. So then I could look into the situation and find out how to do it. But yeah, I'll look into that. That's just another way of looking at things, isn't it? But yeah, Wise is a good solution because you can put your money into the Wise account and then you just pay for whatever you want using your Wise card. Bill Simpson, hello, Bill. Thanks very much for joining. Question, hi, Les. Nice to see you. You're looking well, mate. Thanks very much. I'm feeling well as well. I say I'm on my keto diet, so I've lost 6.6 kilos in 5 weeks. So I'm still on my keto all of this month in June. I hope to get down to about 95 kilos, but that's another 5 kilos in 3 weeks. I might be pushing it a little bit because it's my birthday next month and we're going away in July. But I'm on my keto, 1 meal a day, intermittent fasting, and it's slowly coming off. And the beauty with the keto is that you don't feel hungry, and it's an easy diet to do. But yeah, thanks very much, Bill. Again, it's all coming off the tummy. My clothes fit a lot better. 105 kilos is my trigger point, and I got up to 106.6 because of Songkran and we were away for the Christmas holidays. But yeah, I'm feeling much. That 6.5 kilos is almost a stone. Well, it probably is a stone. And losing a stone makes a big difference for everything. Jim Craig, I'm retiring in Thailand in the next couple of years with my Thai missus. So it's getting the nitty gritty in regards to the financial aspects. Yeah, again, as I say, if you don't live in the tourist look, like Rayong, I sing the praises of Rayong. It's got everything here. It's got some beautiful beaches. The cost of living is cheap. To rent a house is cheap. We have a beautiful small tropical island, Koh Samet, in Rayong. That's why people come to Rayong, just to go to Koh Samet Island. But if you live in a non-tourist location, you can save a lot of money. If I got this house in Phuket or Krabi or something like that, it cost me at least double what I'm paying here. So that house at the back of it, you can get something like that for about 15 to 18,000 baht a month, living on something like that. 12 to 15,000 is sort of the sweet spot around here. And I've got a friend who's got a 3-bedroomed detached house with its own swimming pool for 22,000 baht a month. 22,000 baht a month for a 3-bedroom house with a swimming pool and literally 2 or 3 minutes drive from a local beach. It's peanuts, isn't it, compared to what you'd pay for £1,000 at least, 45,000 baht a month for a house in the UK, where I live in the northeast. Depending where you live in the UK, obviously the house prices vary dramatically. But in Redcar, it would cost me at least 45,000, probably 60,000 baht a month to live in something similar to where I'm living here. So that's why I can't afford to live in the UK. Then there'd be council tax on top of that. So when all's said and done, I've got a good lifestyle here, and Thailand knocks the spots off the UK, in my opinion. Easy to live on 50k if you own a house and car. Exactly. And one day I will own this house, because we're buying this house and there is a definitive time and it'll be paid for. So then that'll save me 20,000 baht a month as well. So if I took 20,000 baht a month off the house, we could live on 40,000 baht a month. Easily 40,000 baht a month if we didn't have to pay the loan for the house. So yeah, very, very doable. Les, do you know if there's a genetic drug for cheaply buy in Thailand to lose weight? Yeah, there is the injections and things like that, but I would stay away from the injections. If you're putting stuff that's going to alter your body, I wouldn't do that. Just go with the diets and stuff like that. And I mean, at my heaviest, I was 118 kilos. 118. So 18 kilos, that's a lot of weight to lose. And what I do now, I have a trigger point. Because I like my food, and I always go up and down in weight, and I've always done that for the whole of my life. And so if you go and have a trigger point, let's have a look. So if you go and have a trigger point like I do of 105 kilo, it's easy to lose 5 kilos than trying to lose 18 kilos. So again, I've got some books. If you have a look on here, that's my buy me a coffee link, and I do have a number of ebooks for sale on there. $3, price of a cup of coffee, and that tells you all about the keto diet, and there's various books with the air fryer, slow cooker, and things like that. Once you're on keto, but I'd still ask the doctor with regard to the keto diet, because it doesn't suit everybody, but it suits me. And after the first week, it's so easy. You don't feel hungry, because again, like me, I'm a bit on the chunky side, 100 kilos. I've always got a fat around my tummy, and that's what your body eats. It eats the fat, and you don't feel hungry, and you just have one meal a day. And my eating window is between 12 and 5, and you can have some sort of like high protein snacks or something like that. Meat I have, and then I have a yogurt or a Greek style yogurt at 5 o'clock, and that's my dessert, because I've still got a sweet tooth and I've got to have something sweet every day. So yeah, I wouldn't use the diet supplements and stuff like that, because there's 2 or 3 Thai girls that my wife knows, and they've been using the needles or the injections that you get to lose fat. And yes, they did lose weight, but as soon as they've stopped using it, it came back on again. It's difficult to do. If you struggle with your weight going up and down, you've just, like me, you've just got to accept it, but then just do something about it. Have that trigger point. And like, that took 4 months for me to put that 6.6 kilos on. So I had a good 4 months of eating, and to get back down to the 100, it took me 6 weeks. 6 weeks. That's almost a kilo a week I've lost, and it's not difficult to do. So 4 months of eating wherever I want and drinking wherever I want, and 6 weeks to get back down to. So that's not a bad ratio, is it? But that's me anyway. So again, have a look at there. The keto books are on there. There's a little description that every book has, and it's the price of a cup of coffee. So even if you just buy it and just read it and you say, oh, it's not for me, $3, you won't get anything else as cheap as that for $3. But that's blowing my own trumpet. And look at me, you can see, I mean, look at me other photographs. I haven't got my photographs on here what I was when I was 18 kilos, 118 kilos. But you do feel a difference. But anyway, whichever way you go, best of luck with it. But for me, stay off the drugs. I guess there's no such thing as council tax or property tax in Thailand. No, there isn't. No council tax. The only property tax you pay is when you actually buy the property or your condo. And I don't know what the percentage is there, but you have to pay something, that's for sure. But there's certainly no council tax. Hi, Les. Doug and Sim here from Herefordshire, UK. Just popped in from some updates. Love all the vlogs. Keep them coming. Thanks very much, Sim Dog, for joining us, and I hope you get some value from it. Best way to lose weight is diet and exercise. I'd go along with the diet, but exercise, I've never been an exercise person. I hated exercise. I've never, ever liked it. And people say to me, yeah, you've got to do some exercise. And yeah, you're right. But if you don't like it and you don't enjoy it, then you're not going to do it forever, are you? I can control my diet, you know, with a keto, and I can enjoy some beautiful food. So I do it by that way, and I don't do any exercise. But if you like exercise as well, then it comes off a lot easier and a lot quicker. All right, well, so Isan man. I came up as a diabetic type 2 about 18 months ago. I was talking to the doctor in the government hospital about the injections, and the weekly pen injections, one are 7,000 for a month's supply. Woo! Oh, that's half of our shopping bill, 7,000 baht. We only spend about 15,000 baht on the shopping and eating out. So 7,000 baht for an injection. But I take it, Isan man, you'll still be eating your food and that as well. So that's just an added expense. 7,000 baht. Wow. Darth's on there. My doctors took me off the keto diet because it was cutting my cholesterol levels. I was putting my cholesterol levels sky high. Eating less meal and fat got to the straight drug for the rest of my life. Now, statins come with problems as well. I'm lucky. I've got to say, I am lucky. I've got no pills, potions, lotions, or whatever. I'm not taking anything. And for me, when I was 118 kilos, I went and got my heart checked at the hospital because I went for just a little checkup with bloods and things like that. And they said my blood pressure was very high. It was like over 145. Over 80, something like that. So it was high. But my doctor always said to me that my blood pressure is always on the high side of normal anyway, all my life. So as you get older, your blood pressure is going to go a little bit higher anyway. But I went to the hospital, and they said because I've got high blood pressure, they put me on blood pressure tablets to bring my blood pressure down. And she said to me, she said, diet will control your blood pressure. She said, lose weight and your blood pressure will come down. She said, it's as simple as that. So she said, it's a lifestyle choice. You can either take the tablets to reduce your blood pressure, or diet, lose, quite a bit of weight, and your blood pressure will come back to normal. So that's what I did. Because when I got to 118, I was looking at buying a pair size 44 shorts, and I'm normally 38 to a 40. So that was a big, big trigger point for me. And ever since I lost down to 105, my blood pressure is normal. It's still on the high side of normal, but that's where it's been all my life. So my clothes fitted, so I didn't have to buy any more clothes. And I'm off the medication now, so I'm not on any medication for anything, which is good, isn't it? When I was back in the UK a number of years ago, the doctor said to me, because I was over 60 now, I could go on to statins. And I said, do I need to go on statins? She said, not really. And I said, well, I don't want to go on statins then, So statins have got their own problems. So if you can stay off the medication, stay off the medication. I've got emphysema. I was diagnosed with emphysema a couple of years ago when I went back to England. I got took into hospital with a suspected heart attack. I had chest pains, but they thought that might have been deep vein thrombosis or a blood clot in my lung because I've been traveling for 35 hours to get back to the UK. So I had the chest x-ray and everything, and they said, no, everything's normal. It's one of them things, we can't put a diagnosis to it, but it's one of them things. But then they said, I've got a small cyst on my liver, which could be benign, nothing. She said, I was 90% sure that it was nothing, but she said, you've got very mild emphysema. So, yeah, I got out of breath a little bit, and maybe thought that's where it was. There was emphysema when I was getting out of breath, lifting the suitcases up and down the flight of stairs. So we're getting older. We're always going to be, getting ill, or something's going to happen to us while we're getting older. Are you a smoker, Liz? No, and I was never a smoker. So I put that down, or my solicitors put that down, because where there's a blame, there's a claim, and he seems to think that it was because I was in the fire service, that's where I got my emphysema from, because in the early days there was smoking anywhere on the station, and we had the TV room when we were stood down. That was the smokers room. So if you wanted to sit and watch TV with everybody else, then that's where people smoked. And you could smoke anywhere in the stations. You could smoke on the fire engines. And then the number of house fires that we've been to, whereas now you have to wear full breathing apparatus set when you're clearing out a house fire, so you have to chuck all the stuff out the windows. So all of that dust and all the stuff that you've been taken in. So anyway, long story short, my solicitor is seeking compensation from the local fire brigade, and that's been going on now for 3 years. How close we are to getting it finished, I have no idea. He said it could take up to 5 years. So it was one of them things. It was one of them no win, no fee type of thing. So it was silly not to go ahead with it. It doesn't cost me anything, and they're taking all the risk. And he seemed to think that he was 75% sure that, or 65% sure that they'd win. Here we are 3.5 years later, and we still haven't heard nothing yet. So let's see how it goes. But no, I've never ever smoked in my life, and that's what they said. Passive smoking is a cause of it. So that's okay, right? So what have I been doing in the past couple of weeks or so? For those people, I've been doing I've done a couple of videos with regard to we had a bit at the back of that. Everybody's got these bits, haven't they, where they sort of neglect and they don't do very much. And there was weeds growing and plant pots all over the place. I've had a change of that now. We put some fake grass down. Have a look at the video. Again, it looks lovely. It looks very, very nice, and the grass looks very, very realistic, and it didn't cost an awful lot. It was about 7 meters by 3 meters, the area that we put the grass on, and it looks wonderful. It really, really does look a nice location. And we're going to build a metal bench there. So I bought myself a welder, I bought myself a chop saw, and all the bits and pieces that you go to do with welding. I've never done any welding in my life, but I'm going to have a go of it, and I'm going to make some videos about it. And this fence here, we're going to change this fence. It's a little bit dated now, this fence, and the screws are rusted. You can see all the rust marks, and some of the uprights, because it was like a fiberboard, and it snapped and stuff like that, and it looks a little bit unsightly. So that's my first project, to be able to do along there with the metal, and I'll make it look a little bit more fancy. So I've got everything, and a new hobby over here, like the welding stuff, is like I probably spent about £100. It's not bad, is it? 100 quid on a new hobby. So I'm looking forward to that, and follow me along the journey. It's some more content, isn't it? There's people on YouTube that make things all the time, and welding I've never ever done in my life, and I just think, I'll give that a go. I've done my old solar panels, The wife at the minute now is just, we've got loads of plastic plants because we go on holidays a lot. So she's got a lot of plastic plants which never ever need watering, and they look realistic. And I've got to say, they do look very, very nice. And they take no attention, because if we go away for like 2 or 3 weeks or so, there's nobody to water the garden. I know we're in rainy season at the minute, so as we're in rainy season, maybe it gets too much water. But again, they're there. It looks nice, a little bit of colourfulness in the garden, which is beautiful. But yeah, we're getting things sorted out. I'm a tinkerer. I always have something to do. And I think that's what a lot of people, if they don't have a hobby or an interest when they come and live over here in Thailand, then you can get very, very bored, and very, very bored quickly. So have a hobby, do something. And that's the difference, I suppose. Living in a house or living in a condo, at least living in the house, I do all the garden. I cut that hedge. That takes about an hour or so to cut the hedge. I've got a hedge just over there, which takes about 3 or 4 hours to cut. Cutting the grass, I've got a big weed whacker type thing that cuts the grass. So I do all the gardening myself, and that just passes time, and that's what you've got, loads and loads of time once you're retired. For my diet, I go on the Mediterranean diet. One slice of bread max per day, lots of salad, good olive oil, apple vinegar cider, which is good for you. That really is good for you, the apple vinegar. Also reduce the cholesterol, no booze, black tea, sugar replaced by, again, I don't have any alcohol. Alcohol's full of carbs. Chang is my beer of choice that I like, but you can have the Sangsom, which is like a Thai rum, and that's got no carbs on it, but it's got the calories. And I always have the Diet Coke, diet sodas. I have the stevia sugar things. So we went out yesterday with some friends of ours to a coffee shop, and I took my own sugar, 0-calorie sugars as well. So you just look into it. You can eat and drink sort of wherever you want. A couple of restaurants that we go to, I have a tuna salad over here, plenty of salads, and it's 120 baht or 150 baht, which is like £3 for a tuna salad in a restaurant, which is, again, cheap, isn't it? So again, with the Thai food, if you're eating the Thai food, they put sugar everywhere you go. They put sugar in absolutely everything they cook over here. So if you're on a diet over here in Thailand, you're best off cooking your own food. Or if you go out for a meal, eat something that you don't have the rice, like sweet and sour or something like that. It's laced with sugar. Chicken and cashew nuts, laced with sugar. So I understand those people who struggle to lose weight over here in Thailand, because, again, they put sugar in everything. When my wife cooks Thai food for me over here, she uses them sweeteners that I've got. So now she cooks my food without the added sugar, and then she just puts the sugar in hers when she wants to. So she'll cook the meal and then split it up once it's cooked and put my sugar in, and then put her sugar in her little portions. Easy, isn't it? Simple as that. Hi, let's just return from Asia after 2 months, Singapore, Bali, Siem Reap, Thailand, and Malaysia. It was hot and humid, but really enjoyed the trip. Well, I've been to Singapore. I like Singapore. Been to Bali, not so struck on Bali. Never been to Cambodia. And Malaysia, I've been to Malaysia, and I like Malaysia. There's only Bali that I didn't like. On my round the world trip, I went to Bali, and we were only there for 5 days, and I liked it. And I thought, oh, I must come back here. And when me and the wife got married, I booked to go to Bali for a month. And people said, well, why are you going for a month? And I said, because we can. And the idea was we were going to travel around Bali and just enjoy it. But we hated it. I absolutely, after the first week or so, I was just thinking, I don't want to be here. And the wife didn't want to be there. She didn't like the Balinese food. And every shop you were just hassled. They were pushing you in, trying to make you buy all sorts of stuff. And we got offered everything that you can imagine by the shop owners. Do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want the other? Do you want a bit of this? Do you want a bit of that? Do you want everywhere you went? No, thank you. 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 Trying to push you into the restaurants, and then if you actually did go into the shops, the hassle you to buy something before they let you out. Hated it. So we actually came home 3 weeks. We stayed in Bali for 3 weeks out of the 4 weeks, and we came home a week early because Thailand was a much nicer place and cheaper than Bali. My wife didn't like the Balinese food, like I said. So out of 3 weeks, we had 19 meals in Thai restaurants. We found, because we went to Ubud, and I forget the place. It was that memorable. I can't even remember where it was on the coast, and it was the coastal one that we hated. But Ubud was nice up in the highlands, if you like. That was okay. But Malaysia, we're going back to Malaysia next year. This is what I'm planning on. You can catch a train all the way from Bangkok to Kuala Lumpur, and it's about $70 or $80 on the train going from Bangkok to Kuala. It's a overnight train, sleeper train. It takes 21 hours in total for like between $60 and $80, which is nothing, is it? And it's an adventure. And so we're going to go to Kuala Lumpur, and then we're going to go to Penang. So there's 2 places that we're going to visit in Malaysia, and we're going to catch the train there, and we're going to catch the train back, and that's from Bangkok. So that's what we're going to do for next July, because next July, then me and Ploy have been together for 10 years, so it's sort of a 10-year celebration, and it'll be my 66th birthday, in which I can start claiming my pension, although I can't claim it until the October. So I'm 66 and 3 months before I get my state pension. But as a sort of celebration, we are going to Malaysia next year. I'm looking forward to that. Being a vegetarian, food to me is an issue for me, but manageable. Yeah, again, vegetarian, it's what they cook with and things like that, isn't it? So yeah, it's I think being a vegetarian, you struggle no matter where you are in the world, but top marks for you, and good for you. You know, if you can manage, then that's great, isn't it? Thailand comes on the top of my favorite country, and the same with me. As I said, there's nowhere else on the planet I'd like to live, and I've been to many countries, and there's only Vietnam comes very close to it, you know. But at the time when I was looking at Vietnam or Thailand had the visas where Vietnam doesn't, or didn't at the time. But Vietnam is changing now, and they're getting into the visa situation, and they're making it more affordable and attractive to go to Vietnam. But Vietnam is back on our list of places to go again. We went to Sapa. That's right up in the north of Thailand. You go to Hanoi and you get an overnight sleeper train. You leave at 9 o'clock at the night, and you get into Sapa about 6:30 in the morning, and then it's another hour journey by minivan up to Sapa. It is stunningly beautiful. I've been all over the world, and I've got to say, for me, my feeling is that Sapa, right up in the mountains, is the most jaw-droppingly, stunningly beautiful place on the planet. And we liked it so much. Even my wife liked it there. We're going there for a week or so next year as well. So we've got a few trips planned next year. And I've got to say, I'm lucky in the fact that I'm going to use my state pension for just holiday money. It'll be the first time in my life that we will ever be financially solvent, that we can just say earmark £400 or £500 a month for holidays. So we're going to have some good holidays as from next year. Fingers crossed. Good afternoon, David. Retired and don't give up. Just finished on uploading a new video about installing eaves trough. Oh, okay, right. Oh, yeah. I'll have to have a look at that then, Dave. So Dave, Retired Don't Give Up, is another guy that one of my subscribers from just over a year ago, and he moved to Thailand. Canadian guy. So he's just been doing YouTube for about a year or so now. So have a look at his channel. Nice guy. I mean, I've been here for 13 years, so I've sort of been there, seen it, done it, got the t-shirt. Dave's another guy. For those people who are interested in what's it like to move here and what things you have to do, especially if you're Canadian, because Dave's Canadian, have a word with Dave. And he'll tell you his mistakes. He's not shy at telling everybody makes mistakes. Even I made mistakes when I first came over here. So again, he's another nice guy. You can just talk to him, and he's open and honest, and he'll tell you everything. So yeah, he's living the dream up in Pair, which is sort of North Thailand, about 3 hours from Chiang Mai, I think. So I'm living down by Rayong, and Dave's living up Pair near Chiang Mai. So yeah, have a word with him, have a look at him. He does live streams as well every now and then. Trace Blackwell, morning Les, great to see you. Damn cold here in the Midlands of England. Oh, how I love the Thai sunshine. I've got the fan on over there, and I know it's rainy season and it's cooled down a lot. But today, for some reason, it's hot and sticky, so I've got the fan on as well. But the rainy season's here now, and it certainly has cooled the air down, and I like it. It's 3 months of the year, it's hot and sticky, but once the rain comes, it just cools everything down. It's lovely. Thailand has all the coasts and islands, and the 920 kilometers of Mekong riverfront gets overlooked, but lots of Thais visit it. I was at the Angkor last week, and all the rock formations. Yeah, again, there's some beautiful places up in northern Thailand. You know, we went to Ban Rak Thai. Ban Rak Thai is very, very north, and that's stunningly beautiful. I've been to Chiang Mai, been to Pai, been to Chiang Rai. Just some beautiful places. Thailand is a massive, massive place. It took us 30 hours. It was 30 hours for 15, maybe 25 hours or so driving to get from where we live in Rayong up to the top of Ban Rak Thai. It was 14 hours to 14 hours. Yeah, it was 14 hours to Pai from where we live. And then next at Christmas time, we're going down to Koh Samui, and to drive down to the ferry port to get across to Koh Samui is 12 hours from where we live. So it's 12 hours in one direction and over 20 hours in the opposite direction. So you're talking of 35, 40 hours to get from one part, the northern part of the Thailand, to the southern part of the Thailand. That's a long, long way, isn't it? And there's many, many things in between. Again, I've lived here for 13 years and I still haven't seen everything. And I'm looking forward to traveling around Thailand much, much more in the near future. Yeah, Sapa looks like it's in Laos. Yeah, Laos. I've looked at a couple of videos on Laos as well. I'm looking forward to Laos because that looks stunningly beautiful. I'm not too fussed about Cambodia. Siam Reap and Sanukville, them are the two main places that everybody goes to. And again, I've never really been into temples, which is, you know, Siam Reap type of thing. It's stunningly beautiful, but yeah, let's see what happens. I've got a lot of places. I've got a big bucket list of the places that I want to go to, and we'll start a lot of holidays next year. Is Dave the guy in Chiang Mai? Well, he lives in Pair, which is close to Chiang Mai, about 3.5 hours from there. Yes, Darth, that's me. Oh, yeah, you've answered that. Okay. So plane ticket should be cheap now. Yeah, I mean, it's cheap to travel around in Thailand. It's not expensive to get from A to B. listen to the lovely music.
11 มิถุนายนพบกับสุดฮอตสุดเซ็กซี่ออยร้อยจูปะทะกับดีเจปัน12 มิถุนายนพบกับสาวสวยลานเบียร์โชว์13 มิถุนายนพบกับนักร้องค่ายใหญ่ไหทองคำ
Some festival on, food festival. It's got food all over the side of it. So again, like every month here, there's something going on. I did a video with the kite festival the other day at Lee May Pim. That was just beautiful. We just went for the afternoon, took our table and chairs, ate the street food, just watched the kites, watched the world go by. Such a relaxing afternoon. It's lovely. It's very, very nice. That's what I'm saying over here, because the weather's temperate. It's a great outside living. We've got a sofa that we sit outside all the time. Our front and back door is open all the time to allow the draft through the house, which keeps the house cool at the end of the day. A lot of people go on about how much it costs for electricity over here. It's still very, very cheap, the electricity, in comparison to what it is in the UK. My electricity bill this month was £14. £14 the electricity bill. And we use the air conditioner a little bit on the night time. We might put it on for half an hour in the bedroom just to cool the bedroom down, because we sleep with fans all the time. We insulated the roof, so that stops a lot of the heat from coming into the bedroom. If we have the aircon on in the living room, again, we have it on for maybe an hour, and that's it. So our electricity bill, it's never, ever been above 800 baht, which is about 16, 17 pounds. And if this is even in the hot season. So how many people are loving an electricity bill, like 10 to 15 pounds a month? Our water rates, we have a septic tank, which we get emptied every 2 or 3 years. Our water, it's not drinking water, it's just water for washing and showers and stuff like that. It works out £1 a month. £1 a month for your water. My sister's paying £45 a month because she's got a water meter. £45 a month. Crazy. They start there at 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, they have every morning here. The village head comes up with something, and yeah, they tell you what's going on in the village for that day. Yeah, tell them how much I mean, well, even yours, Dave, it really isn't that, a 3,000 to 4,000 baht a month, but Dave's got family living with him, so he's got 3 or 4 air conditioning units being used. So yeah, it's the air conditioning units that eat the electricity up over here. I had a septic tank last year and only charged me, it's 500 baht to empty it. It's not expensive, is it? The only problem we have here in the rainy season, because at the back of our house there's another house where it's quite high, so all the rainwater that falls on there seeps into our garden, and it fills the septic tank up, and it fills up the second tank, which is like a soak away tank. So that can block our toilets up. But what we bought a submersible pump that we put in the second tank, so the water never ever gets that high now that it backs up the toilet water or the septic tank wise. And again, we've had that for 4 years. It costs us 1,700 baht. It comes on automatically when it gets to a certain height. So that was the answer to our problem that we had with the tank filling up with rainwater. But when it rains here, boy, does it rain. And at the time, I'm thinking, we need to dig up all of the yard and alter the septic tanks. But no. But when I looked at the solutions, and the solution was having a submersible pump with a float switch, so the water gets to a certain level and it empties the tank, so it never ever backfills now into the main septic tank, which is good. Yeah, 5,087. So that's about 120 quid a month. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of money, £120 a month. But again, that's a lot of air conditioning units going. And now we're out of the hot season, Dave. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it should start reducing a little bit from that. But yeah, I understand I mean, I wouldn't like to be paying like 5,000 baht a month, but that's. I think the only other person that's paying that is Dave, the other Dave in Surin, because it is, again, he's got 4 or 5 air conditioning units using. And my other friend Derek, his wife sits in the house all day with the air conditioning on in her room, and then he has the air conditioning running all night. And he's got a daughter which has the air. So it's the air conditioning units that eat everything up, doesn't it? But electricity is cheap over here in comparison to most other places in the world. Again, ask the people from here. I mean, how much was your electricity bill in Canada for a month? And I'm sure during the winter months it's very, very expensive, because Canada, it gets pretty nippy there during the day in the winter. I have fans on all day and things charging, etc. But the AC in 2 bedrooms at night, my electric bill is 2,800 a month. Oh, well, that's not too bad. As I say, I played around with solar, so I've got solar taking some of the sting out of my electricity bill. You know, some of the sting like £7 or £8 a month. So that's not a big saving, but I like tinkering about. So I had to play around with solar, and that sort of pays for half of our electricity, or maybe not quite half. And I've got the lights all the way around the house. That's on a separate solar system. And I've just installed now a grid tie inverter, because I had 2 80-watt solar panels that weren't doing anything. So I bought a small grid tie inverter, 120 watts that it'll take. So I've got 80 watts going into that, and that feeds into the household electricity, average between 40 and 60 watts per hour. So that's sort of enough to run the fridge, because we were away for a month, so that we had an idea that the fridge itself just uses 270 baht a month, because we were away for 4 weeks. And when we came back, the only thing that was running in the house was the fridge freezer. So that was £270 a month. So I know now £270 baht a month is our fridge freezer. So by using the grid tie inverter and with the 80 watts, because our fridge runs 70 watts an hour, it's sort of paying for the fridge to be run during the day. And that's an 80 watt panel, which costs maybe 1,500 baht now, and the grid tie inverter, and that was just over 1,000. So with them 2 items there, you can sort of run your fridge freezer. So that's not expensive to do it, is it? So there's ways and means of being able to do everything around the house. Electricity is so cheap in Thailand. That's why solar hasn't took off in a big way in Thailand, because the electricity is so cheap. Yeah, 4 point. The government are on about reducing the electricity bill as well during the hot season. There's a motorbike sidecar with a dog in it. And the local soy dog is just running after it, barking at it, saying, "This is my space, this is my space." He'll give up when he goes around the corner, because, again, soy dogs here are very territorial. So, anyway, what was this? Oh, yeah, about heat, electricity costs. Yeah. I mean, we have fans on during the night. We have 2 fans on in the bedroom. And we have fans on in the living room most of the time. And but with the solar setup that I've got at the minute, that runs our TV, my computer, the internet, printer, the fans. So everything during the day and on the night time is run off my solar. So, and the whole system probably cost us 30,000 baht or something like that. So again, the payback's still a number of years away, but at the end of the day, every little bit counts, isn't it? And it's given me something to do for a little while. So again, that's the same with the welding. You know, that's what I'm going to be doing. You know, some little welding projects, something to do, isn't it? And it'll give me content as well to put on YouTube. But my videos that I've got coming up is the tax video about Department of Work and Pensions tax in the UK. If you, with your state pension, if you live in Thailand, you're going to get your pension is going to be frozen because you live in Thailand. Now, again, I've done a couple of videos on about it. There's a little loophole, which there is. If you go and live in the Philippines for 6 months, you do get your pension increases. And there's one subscriber who was a pioneer, and I'm still waiting for the tax people to get back in touch with him. They've told him he qualifies to keep the new rate, but that was 5 weeks ago. And they said, we're looking into it 5 weeks ago. And they said, we'll get back to you within a week or so. 5 weeks later, numerous phone calls. Oh, yeah, we're looking into it. I think what it is, they don't want to admit to it because it may, and I'll make a big song and dance over it if it does come true. And I will advertise that on my channel because I'm sure there's plenty of other people who want to find a way of getting them increases. Not every year, but again, it was, I think, 4 years since he had his pension frozen. So he was doing it so he was going to be £41 a week better off by going to the Philippines. And he did go and live in the Philippines for 6 months. And he did check up with the Department of Work and Pensions, but the Department of Work and Pensions assured him. Yeah, you're going to get it. Yeah, no problem. It'll carry on. And then they reduced it back down to it was before he went to the Philippines, and that's wrong. But when I sort of took the case up for him as well and was fighting against it, they told me that he should be getting it, and but they wouldn't give me anything in writing, in black and white. It was all verbal over the phone. So now I record all, and I've got all the recordings for that, and I'm going to do a video about it. But I'm just fingers crossed that next week might be the week that he gets his pension rise, and hopefully he's won because he deserved it, you know. And there's 4 or 5 other guys just waiting on the outcome of this video for them to go to the Philippines for 6 months and be able to claim it. So let's see what happens. Fingers crossed it's a positive video as opposed to a video slagging off another U-turn with the Department of Work and Pensions on your frozen pensions, because they're not wanting to change it at all. So anyway, has anybody got any other questions? Let's have a look. Your chance to ask whatever questions you may require. I'm full of information, like as I say, with navigating the visas. The visas at the minute. The visas are becoming a little bit of a problem because the Thailand government or the immigration department are clamping down on visas, like the education visa. They're making, if you come to Thailand on education visa, they're clamping down on that very, very strongly. They're making sure that you've got to attend the classes. They're making sure that the companies or the schools that are offering this service are legitimate schools. So that's very, very difficult now to get an education, and they will question it, and so it's more and more difficult to do that. The retirement visa, they're clamping down on that. They're making sure that you tick all the boxes, whereas before you could do the income method by just having two months income with regard to applying for the retirement visa on the income method, 65,000 baht a month. Before they used to do it for 2 years, now they're saying they want it for a year now. So there's 2 ways you can either get over this problem: is put the 800,000 baht in for the first year, and then bring in 65,000 baht a month for the following year, then you can withdraw the 800,000 and send it back to your home country, wherever, because then you've had the year, and then you can show that you've had 65,000 baht coming in for a year. Or you can use an agent to put the money in the bank account for you, the 800,000 baht, and then still put the 65,000 baht a month into your bank account every month. Then that following year, you can go on to the income method, and then your visa is only going to cost you 2,000 baht a month or 1,900 baht a month, as opposed to using an agent where it may be like 15 to 20,000 baht a year for him to put the money into your account and take it back out again. So there's swings and roundabouts, and there's ways and means of getting over the system. It's not terribly complicated to do it, but the bank accounts have become a lot more difficult to get hold of. The destination DTV, destination Thailand visa, again, that's causing a few problems, because although you can get a 5-year visa on the destination Thailand visa, there's so many hoops that you've got to jump through as well. And the banks won't let you open up a bank account, because every 180 days you've got to leave the country and then come back again. So that is still a problem with regard to opening a bank account. They are looking at another 10-year visa, which would be great, wouldn't it, if you're going to get a 10-year visa? But they're just looking into that at the minute. So what the hoops you have to jump through for that, I don't know. But let's hope that they come up with some simple solutions and some very attractive visas to attract people. The way that the Thai government are going, they want the wealthy people to come over here. And let's face it, you know, the attractions for the wealthy people, if you're going to get taxed, you know, they're not going to come over here, the wealthy people. It's the middle class. That's the amount of tourists that they get over here. That's their bread and butter. But they seem to be turning their back against the bread and butter for trying to get the wealthy people over here. They've tried to get loads of the wealthy Indians. But my view of the Indians, I mean, there's complaints about the Indians are sleeping on the beach now in Pattaya, as opposed to hotel rooms. The hotels are complaining that, you know, the Indians have booked a hotel room for 2 people and 6 or 8 or 10 people are staying in there. So the Indians are causing a lot of problems as well. And they are not the high spending Indians that they want. Sure, there are some very, very expensive Indian packages like weddings and things like that, but they're very few and far between. If you walk around Pattaya now, the amount of Indians that are walking around is just incredible. The Russians, again, they've been over here spending the money, and now they're sort of stepping on people's toes and, you know, going against the rules, opening their own businesses, their own taxis, their own real estate offices, their own tour guides, things like that. Because the Ruskies seem to think that they have now bought a part of Thailand, because they bought the studios, they bought the condos, and they bought the houses and apartments in Phuket area, and now they seem to think we own it, but in reality they haven't. So the Thai people, or the Thai government, are getting a little bit sick of that as well. The Chinese and the Russians sort of bending the rules and overstepping the mark. So again, that's why the bank accounts have become a little bit more difficult to get, because the blatant washing the money services, if you like, that has got a lot of people in a lot of trouble. So the guy actually got his pension increase, and they reduced it. Yes, he did. Now again, I've done it just to quickly go over that. Basically, what it is that if you live in Thailand, Thailand isn't a reciprocal country for your state pension. But if you live in the Philippines is a reciprocal country, so you would get your yearly rises in the Philippines. But there is also a rule, 180-day rule, that if you live 185 days, it's actually 183, but I would say 185, and that covers any, hiccups type of thing with what time you arrived in the Philippines and things like that. So basically 185 days in that reciprocal country, and you can claim your pension rise, your pension increase, because you've lived in that country for more than 6 months in the financial year, which is from April the 6th to the following April the 5th. As long as you live in the UK or any reciprocal country, you are entitled to get that new increase. And this gentleman went across, and within that financial year, and he called Department of Work and Pensions, and they assured him, because he looked at my video and I said, this is the way of doing it. And every single person that I spoke to within the Department of Work and Pensions, and I talked to the top people, the top managers, the top officials, and they all said, yes, as long as you live there for 183 days, you can then, when you move back to Thailand, get that increase, and it will stay, but it will be frozen at that new increase. So he did his due diligence, and he checked up and he made the phone calls. And even 2 weeks before he moved to the Philippines, he asked them what information they required. And they wanted the hotel statements to say that he was going to be there. He wanted photocopies of the bank, of his passport stamped into the Philippines and out of the Philippines to prove he'd been there for the 6 months. Hotel accommodation receipts and everything. They wanted everything, and he sent them everything. And they said, yes, you will get the new rise once you leave after the 6 months. And when he came back to Thailand, they reduced his pension. But whilst he was living in the Philippines, he got the new rate. So he was getting another £41 a week extra. And when he went back to the Thailand, and he phoned up the office, and because they'd reduced his pension back down to the previous levels, they said, we don't think you were intentionally going to live there for the rest of your life. We think you're only going to do it temporary. Of course he was only going to do it temporary, but why have the 185-day rule if they class that as habitually living in that country because it's 6 months? They look upon it, if you live in that country for between a month and 3 months, you are habitually resident. So they're interpreting their law now, thinking, we don't think you, which is totally against their rules, because why have that rule in the first place if they're going to interpret it, their thinking of it, and we're going to knock you back down to what it was before because we don't think you were going to stay there for a long time. It's up to him. It's up to him. And they agreed with that, and they turned around and said to him, yeah, well, we've got a letter here that says no further action to be taken. And she said, but looking at your case, you are entitled to it. So let me look into it for you. We'll get back to you next week. That was 5 weeks ago, and they still haven't got back in touch with them. So they're trying to delay it and delay it and delay it. But in reality, according to what everybody that I've spoken to, and we had a sort of heated discussion with the Department of Work and Pensions for an hour, then she put me on hold, and she was quite aggressive towards me because of my questioning. And again, I've got all of it taped. I recorded the conversation. Then she spoke to her superiors, and then she came back, totally different attitude. She said, yes, you're correct. Yes, you are correct. But she said, because you're not claiming your pension out, I can't talk to you. She said, you need to be able to be claiming your pension. But I said, what is the law as it is now? And then she explained it, and I was 100% correct. He should be getting his rise. But at the minute, he's not. And they wouldn't give me anything in black and white. And they wouldn't give him anything in black and white either. It was just a phone call. It's why now I always record the phone calls with the Department of Work and Pensions. But that's going to be in another video, and I'll have the taped conversations and the questions that I ask the people at the Department of Work and Pensions. So fingers crossed, next week or so, he will get a good answer, a positive answer from the Department of Work and Pensions, and hopefully his pension has gone up to £41. To him, £41 a week for the rest of his life is a lot of money. we're talking over 12 to 15,000 pounds in the next 10 years. That's a lot of money in his pocket as opposed to into the pocket of the Department of Work and Pensions. So that's why I'm helping him fight his case for him. In Thailand till I die. Hello, Les. I see your name pops up in the comments of other YouTubers. Do you watch a lot of YouTube? Do you enjoy watching? How did your second channel fare? I think it was AI only. Yeah, I watch a few other YouTubers. I did a couple of videos on how you make money here in Thailand, because everybody says, oh, you know, you can make faceless videos and things like that, and you work online and things like that. And no, you can't. The only people that are making money on these type of videos are the people selling the courses or selling the snake oil, if you like. Oh, if you do this, you'll make money. If you do that. When all's said and done, these people who are making money on YouTube have got the golden goose, and they're not going to tell you how they make their money. And what I found out over the past, 18 months or so, it's a load of rubbish. I did the AI faceless videos. I gave up after 3 or 4 months. There's another guy that I work with. He did it a lot longer than me, and he got the required numbers of subscribers, and he got his YouTube channel monetized, and he's making nothing from it at all. Absolutely nothing from it at all. He's so disappointed because he spent a lot of money getting it up and running. He did get over 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours within 18 months, but it's just stopped now. He doesn't get the views that other channels are getting for doing exactly the same things. Now, I don't know why, but his channel failed, and mine, I give up because the amount of time and effort I was putting into it, I could see there was no reward in it. So I give up that. I've still got my Etsy shop, which I've got my cards, and I might expand that a little bit. I've still kept it open. I sell gift cards, birthday cards, firefighter cards. Like I used to sell these on there as well, Retire and Live the Dream. So if anybody wants one of these mugs, I can't post them around the world, but I can post them anywhere in Thailand. And these are 300 baht for a Retire and Live the Dream mug. I can send them in Thailand, but I can't send them anywhere because the post office refused to send them because they're ceramic mugs. But yet they'll send it anywhere in Thailand. So my Etsy shop, it's like everything else. You need to advertise, you need to promote it a little bit more. So I've sold a few cards on that. I could sponsor that and send it, and I need to make a few more. They say you should have at least a minimum of 100 products to make an Etsy shop okay. My keto books are doing okay. I've got a few keto books because I'm looking at me, you can see me now, I'm 100 kilos and I was 118 kilos. So I think with things like that, it shows, and I am sort of that person that was 118 kilos and now is 100 kilos and hopefully get down to 75. The keto diet works. I would say out of all the things that I've done, my ebooks have been the best because they're only $3. It's the price of a cup of coffee, isn't it? And the information that you can learn. I've also done other ebooks with regard to moving to Thailand. Is Thailand the best place? Internet dating. So my ebooks have probably been the best. The opening or starting a YouTube channel, again, some people are very successful at it, other people aren't. Again, there's a couple of YouTube channels that are blown up and they've got very big, very, very fast. Mine isn't one of them. I've got 14,300 subscribers, and I probably still only make between $100 and $150 a month off the YouTube. So there's a lot of work. I mean, today now I've been on here for an hour and a half. and this live stream, I'll be lucky if it makes $10 out, you know, the total views. So $10 for a couple of hours work isn't a big payback. So if all those people think they're going to make a lot of money off YouTube, no, you're not. Same with their online marketing, you know, selling stuff on Amazon, selling ebooks, stuff like that. It's little bits, little chunks. And as somebody said to me, if you've got 5 or 10 little, you know, income streams, side streams, then you can make quite a bit of money. But it's the amount of time you spend. You know, like all those people on YouTube, make a video might take me about 2 or 3 hours to do it, and my reward for every 1,000 views I get from a video, I get $4.30. So my average views are anywhere from 1,000 up to 3,000. So like, if you look at the 3,000, you know, $12 for, you know, 3 hours work. It's not a lot of money, is it? And it's the same with the content. You've got, it's like a content monster. You've got to keep feeding the monster, otherwise your views go down and your money comes down. So it's like a content creator monster, you know. And when all said and done, I mean, I do many things, so I'm sort of never short of content to put on, because I do my solar, I bought a welder, I do gardening, I've done things around the house. We go on our holidays quite a lot, talking about me motorbike, our car. So that there's hundreds and hundreds of over 560 videos. So that's a lot of different content. So yes, that was sort of a long-winded answer, wasn't it, to my to that question? But you can't make a lot of money on YouTube or living here in Thailand, that's for sure. But yeah, I put my comments. The ones that I like are Ben from Life in Thailand, and he's got his house in the middle of nowhere. He's quite a funny guy and he's witty guy, but you know, he's took a lot of work on with that 5 rai of land that he's got, and the lawnmower that he's bought. He built a bamboo bridge. He's comical, he's entertaining, and but he's hardworking as well. And I think behind the scenes he's struggling as well for money and stuff like that, because he's only a young guy, so he's not got pensions, and he's got other business things that he's got that brings a little bit of money on. And his YouTube, you know, I think he's got 20,000 subscribers now, so he's gone quite high quite quick. But he's a funny guy. Paradise in Thailand. Kenny, he's another Australian guy. He's just building up. I think he's just got less than 3,000 subscribers now. There's Dave from Retired Don't Give Up. He's just gone over the 1,000 subscribers now, but he hasn't got quite the watch hours. So yeah, you know, there's loads of people on, and I watch a little bit of people's. But the content, I mean, I'm a DIY person, so I watch the people that's got DIY skills and things like that. I'm not bothered about the patios. I'm not bothered about stuff like that. So some of the guys that do talk around patio and the adult entertainment side of it, they get lots and lots of views. But that's not my niche, is it? My niche is, I've got the girl, I'm married, I live a normal everyday life. I do the gardening, I go on my holidays. So I'm just a normal guy, probably not that interesting to some people. But there we go, I've got 14,300 subscribers, but not every subscriber watches all my videos, because some videos, I think the last one that I did, it was just like a little montage. Give me 3 minutes of your time and to be inspired. And all it is just to sort of twitch the nerve, thinking, yeah, I can do something, I can live like that. But I've got less than 1,000 views on it. So there you go. Who knows? And like at the minute now, I've got 91 people. I don't know how many thumbs up I've got, but hopefully I've got 91 thumbs up. So if you're there, give me a thumbs up. It all helps the algorithm. Oh, and there's me delivery now in. I've ordered some stuff from Lazard. Lazarda's brilliant for getting your things. Cheap enough, Lazada. It's like eBay, but it's very, very good. I'm from Asoko, Samui. How do we communicate with UK now? Skype has got WhatsApp is good. I have to look into something because I need to do something with regard to phoning the Department of Work and Pensions up. Oh, it's just one player, not two. Oh, okay. I'm expecting 2 parcels today, and one of them's just come. So yeah, I need to look at something. There is on Facebook. It says this or the service, this, but that's $4 a month. I don't call the UK that often, so I'll look into something. Skype was very, very good. It's sad that it's come down, but yeah, I'll have to have a look at something where you just pay as you go, talking to an English telephone number. I always use Messenger to talk to my sister, and that's free. WhatsApp to talk to various people in the UK, and again, that's free. So it's just a telephone number, and there's not many people I need to contact in the UK at all. So yeah, I'll have to look into that. So again, I miss Skype? Not really, no. I still had £1.50's worth of Skype credit when it closed down. And I put a $5 on maybe 2 years ago. There we go. We'll see what happens. Good morning, Les from Switzerland. Good morning, Switzerland. Oh, going back on to Koh Samui. Koh Samui, we were going there for Christmas. I love Koh Samui. It changed my life to Koh Samui. Fantastic place. But we're going there for Christmas. I've just paid for the hotel now. Book early to avoid disappointment. And then I think we're going to Krabi for New Year. I'm going down to see Bad Badger. He's one of the other guys that I watch on YouTube. Bad Badger and Liz. So it's Tony and Liz down near Krabi. Looking forward to going and seeing them. I'll go and see his little cheeky bar, and hopefully we'll have a couple of cheeky cheekies. I know you can live 183 days in the reciprocal country in a UK tax year, and anywhere else the rest gets the current pension rate for where you, but it's only paid in the reciprocal country. No, not really. No, no. It is paid in the reciprocal country. That is true, whilst you're in that reciprocal country. But this is what the rule is. If you live in that reciprocal country for 183 days, then you're deemed to get that new rate. So you could come back from the reciprocal country and it will be frozen at that new rate. Because the tax office said to me, so I said, well, what if I move back to England? Oh, then you'd get it. It'd be given it the new rate. So I said, well, why have the reciprocal rule if you're not going to get it? Well, yeah, you should be allowed it. So even they don't know, and they should be all, singing from the same hymn sheet. But okay, if you move back to England for a year, and then she said, oh yeah, you'd get it. So I said, but you have this agreement, reciprocal. So if I come back to the UK, I'd get it. Yes, you would. So I said, I live in the Philippines. It's a reciprocal country. Yes, you would. So, but then you're also saying if I move back to Thailand, I wouldn't be getting it. This is what I'm saying. And there's nothing in black and white. She said, all the details are in. I said, no, there isn't. All the details are not on the website, because the questions that I'm asking you, it is not explained in there to say why it would be stopped, why if you live there for 185 days, why you would get it, or why you wouldn't get it. And I said, even you cannot tell me that. It's when she went to the supervisor, and the supervisor said, yes, you'd get it, you qualify for that, but we will not give you it in black and white. So that's what I'm saying. Who knows, isn't it? Spartan Stern, thanks very much for the knock 50. Thank you very much for the the super chat, for the super thanks. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Yeah, Paradise in Thailand, Kenny. He's an American. I thought he was Australian. Oh, I must have got him mixed up with somebody else then. But yeah, Kenny, I've emailed him a few times. He's just built his bridge, because I was asking him about his welder, what make his welder was, and how he did it. But he didn't show you him welding it, but he just did it. So again, I've never ever welded in my life, so I'll have a bit of fun with that, won't I? I don't pay Facebook anything, and vid calls anybody I am friends with. Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of Facebook as well. With a messenger, you don't pay anybody anything. But again, ringing the Department of Work and Pensions, they're not on Facebook and they won't answer to anything else like that. But they answered on the Skype calls, which is good. So I'll find out something, and even if it cost me, I was on the phone for an hour the last time, and I think it was less than £1. It costs using Skype to ring England on that number. So fingers crossed I'll find, I don't mind paying £1 for an hour's worth of calls to England. And again, the pensions department, future pensions, although there is some free calls to the pensions department in the UK, future pensions isn't one of them because it's up at Newcastle and you have to pay for that call. I was hoping to move to Thailand in 9 years when I hit 55, but with the governmental moving the age, you can take out some private pensions to 57. I don't know if I can rely on that anymore. Yeah, again, I think they may increase that age to 68. I mean, I'm 66 now, and I think the new pension age is 67. That might be very soon going up to 68 as well. They just want you to work until you drop. They don't want to give you any money. Do you have any investments or investing to I'll just put some money in? Is making about £10 per day, just sitting there with the interest and cash. No, I don't have any investments. I think I just live on my pension. My pension is enough to live on. I've got my medical insurance, which isn't a lot, but for me at the minute it ticks all the boxes, and I have enough money here. I have a credit card which can get me another couple of £1,000 if I need to. We've been able to do that. That helps tremendously because I'm a healthy guy. As I say, I only have 700,000 bahts worth of insurance. That's with Pacific Cross, and that cost me 25,000 baht a year. It's easy to find the 25,000, but it'd be less easy to find 700,000. So it's not a lot, but I can increase the premiums to get 1 million, which I think that takes it up to 30,000 baht a year until I'm 66, and then it goes up to 35 to 40,000, which is still affordable when all's said and done. And the insurance, as long as I pay the premiums, will cover me up to the age of 99. So because I've had the insurance for 10 years, again, it just covers everything. David Tarrant, thanks very much for the super chat, £10. Very, very much appreciated. Thanks very much. Move to work. I am married to a Thai woman with a Thai daughter living in the UK, but the UK is getting unaffordable and you can't speak your mind. Yeah, I mean, the social police are not, I mean, there's a few YouTubers that are talking, you know, what they think about what's going on in the UK. And basically, if you say anything against the government, there's going to be a knock on your door. Andy the cabbie, I mean, he's not offensive, Andy the cabbie, but yeah, he's had a knock on the door. And there's another Scottish guy, I forget his name now, but I think, hasn't he been locked up or something, arrested for some of his criticism towards the government? Freedom of speech. The guy who burned the that book that everybody doesn't like. Again, I can't say stuff like that on here, but the book that he burnt, he's been sent to prison for that. But yeah, if somebody, I mean, what about the guys that took the cross from the top of the church, did they get any? They go to jail for anything like that? As far as, you know, doing things wrong, I think taking a cross down from outside of a church is much more of a serious problem than burning, you know, one of these particular books that other people like, and they will kill you and stab you and murder you for doing any damage to their books. It's just crazy, like, you know. And to say that the amount of things that's going on, I pay the tax on my income just over £2,000 a year. £2,000 a year. So one particular guy that comes across the channel on one of these little plastic boats, it costs the government like £50,000. £50,000 to look after this one individual for a year. So how many of my year's payments of £2,000 a year in tax goes to this one gentleman who does nothing, and he entered our country, the UK, illegally? So my tax money that I pay is just wiped out. Do they spend it wisely? I think not. But how many other people are like me, pensioners who are paying tax? I don't get anything from the UK. I can claim nothing at all. But I still pay tax on my pensions, and many other people do, and they're not a burden to society, but they still pay tax. And yet there's people claiming all of that money for doing nothing. But that's just another subject I could talk all day about, because it's such a hot topic at the end of the day. But it's like everything else, you've got to watch what you say. Hi Les, what do you think of Rachel Reeves strong arming top pensioners companies into putting 10% of their company pensions into infrastructure for people, ID, private equity, turns up into venture capitalism? Okay, this is my view on it, what they should be doing. If the sort of signing 5-year contracts out there for private landlords to rent the houses and turn them into multiple occupation, why doesn't the government buy a bucket load of houses, like, 5, 10, 15,000 houses, or spend the money on building 10, 15, 20,000 houses using taxpayers' money, but the taxpayer money gets paid back to them after borrowing the money, instead of paying a landlord who's going to milk the system, because they'll all be the buddies of the government or the MPs that'll be creaming all of this money. So it's sort of nationalisation, just doing something on a bigger version of what the councils do. But it's the British public that gain from this, not the private landlords type of thing. Okay, it's not a satisfactory solution, but when all's said and done, instead of the taxpayers getting fleeced, the taxpayers are going to get something out of it. Because let's face it, if they built 15 or 20,000 houses, and then miraculously we solve the problem out of these people coming over here, the 15 or 20,000 houses that have been built for these people, they would soon sell. Absolutely no problem, because there's a housing crisis in the UK anyway. But that's just a way of actually sweetening the deal, because the public at the minute, the taxpayers, are just paying for everything and getting nothing back. It's about time that if they invested on stuff like this, the taxpayers should get something back out of it. The renationalisation of the railway system, it's fantastic in my eyes, so that the public can fund all of these rail rises and the railway infrastructure and get something back out of it. Crazy. How do you draw a pension out of that if a project hasn't matured? Oh, that must be something else then. Concan, I'm 57-year-old now. Who knows what the UK pension situation will be? Currently, my forecast is about £70 a week. I withdraw my pension pot. I don't trust this. Yeah, again, the system doesn't favour anybody. I think they should make it compulsory that every single person, whoever works, they should actually pay into a pension from the age of 16 when you leave school to pay for your state pension. So at least you've got something in your nest egg, like for when you get to, it'll be 70. If you leave school now at 16, I'm sure you'll be 70, 71 before you retire. They'll give you the old crap of like, how will you live long? Everybody lives longer. But how many healthy years are you going to have? I'm 65 now, and I ache. And I mean, the other day, I had a locked knee and I couldn't get out of bed for 2 days. So health issues come to us, So from the age of 60, you start going wrong. Things start to go wrong. So you're not going to live healthily up to the age of 70, even though the government say you're going to live longer. But health-wise, you're going to, things are going to start to go wrong. So I think still you should be putting money to aside. They should force everybody to put money to aside. So in your retirement ages, you've got something to fall back on. Because at the minute, everybody wants the money now. Everybody doesn't want to pay into a pension. I mean, like with the fire brigade, when I was with the fire brigade, we were paying 11% into our pensions, which is a lot of money. Could I have done extra other things with that 11%? Why, sure I could have done, but I'm glad they took it off me, the 11%, because, I'm sort of reaping the rewards now. I can live on my fire brigade pension. And when I get my state pension, which I'm sure one day it'll be looked at and they'll do a means test and they'll say, oh, well, you've got this pension that I paid into, but we're gonna, financially cap how much money you can earn. This is all in the future. And they don't want to pay you. They want you to work until you drop and then die. And you're the perfect statistic then for in the UK at the minute. And I'm sure it's the same in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and America. They don't want to pay you. They want you to work until you drop. If Britain does not want any refugees, it should stop fighting wars in the Middle East. And again, as I said, we brought a lot of these problems onto ourselves. Hi, Div. There's a British YouTuber who talks about using options to generate monthly cash flow on T12, not financial advice. I don't know. I'll have to have a look at that. Again, there's so many people. If you do this, you do that. If you do the other, you're going to make a lot of money. But in reality, it's the people who sell the courses and the advice, and they don't. I've never met a wealthy YouTuber here at all. Highlights. My second comment was to follow on the first private investment if it hasn't matured. Again, I don't know about that, the private investment, because I've never ever had any private investments. To be fair, I've never really saved for anything either. I've always sort of lived month to month. I've never been a saver. Never, ever have been a saver. I've always spent it. And many people say, yeah, you need to save up for this. I've got a friend who's 72 and he's still paying into a private pension provider. So when he's 75, he can't pay any more. And I said to him, how many years do you think you're going to live? He's 75 before he can start claiming that pension, but he's paid into it for many, many years. How much he's going to get, I don't know. He's got a bank book full of zeros, and good for him. He's got all of that money, but he's got nobody to leave it to. He could have a fantastic. For me, my feeling of this, when I die, I want to owe the bank £1. Then I know I've spent every single penny on me, and other people aren't going to enjoy the fruits of my labour. I've taken precautions and things like that, and my wife is going to be well looked after when I pass. She'll never ever have to work again either. And if you can do that to the partner that you're living with, or your wife or your partner, then kudos to you. But I know a couple of Thai ladies whose partners died and they left them with nothing but the bill to bury them. And, they've spent 15 years of their life with them, and then the partners die and they get absolutely nothing. Sadly, the people didn't have a lot of money anyway, so they just rented houses. So financially wise, after 15 years of living with somebody, they've got nothing out of spending that amount of time with them. And that was sad to see, because now, they struggle every month because they've spent 15 years of their good life, if you like, when they were younger, obviously, and trying to, and it's not a pretty sight. So again, do what you can. I've taken steps that my wife will also be well off. She'll never ever have to worry about money again, which is a nice thing for the rest of your life. But you've got to look at these things, if you've got life insurance, make sure that your wife or your partner's going to get that insurance. Are you for or against medical broccoli? Broccoli. If you want to take broccoli, if you want to eat broccoli, it's up to you. I've got nothing against it. I've never taken it in my life. I'm not bothered. I've never ever had to have anything to. I'm a happy guy anyway, so I don't need anything else to make me any happier or chilled out or whatever. I'm fairly chilled, but that's an individual choice. But my views on the broccoli, it can be as bad as alcohol, because there are still many people who think they can, take the substance of broccoli and drive. And they might be very much more chilled out, but when all's said and done, they can still have an accident, and that accident can cripple other people because of your indulgence in the broccoli. But as far as medical is concerned, if it's a medical stuff, I had a friend who was wheelchair bound in the UK, and that was the only thing that actually cured his pain, was the medical broccoli. And I've got no problems with that. If you take what you need to take to make your life a little bit more better, and I've got no pension. I've got no pension. I've got no problem with that. My girlfriend will get the house, but when I kaput, my US Social Security and the small UK pension will stop. It's the same as me. My state pension, it'll stop. But if I was married to an English girl, then she'd get it. And for my wife to be able to get my state pension, she would have had to make contributions into the national health or the national insurance contributions for 7 years before she would get anything. So again, it's just another thing that the government have taxed, or they've said, oh, you're not going to get this, you're not going to get that, you're not going to get the other. The Norway to a little bit. And most people are oblivious to actually what they can claim for or what their wives will get. And again, the two gentlemen who had UK state pensions, what they lived on, and a little bit of savings, thought that their wives, Thai wives, would get their state pension. How wrong they were. And sadly, these are the things that you've got to look into, because one day we're not all going to live forever, are we? I've never met a person who's lived forever yet, and I don't think I ever will. And I don't think I'll be the first either. So you've got to make preparations and planning towards your demise, and make sure that the loved one or the person that you're with or the person that you care about has got some comfort out of that. You don't leave them with the bill to bury you or cremate you is over here. So I've done all of that lot. We've gone through everything else like that. And again, the older you get, if your wife gets your state pension or you get some sort of pension, they will stop it one day. And then it's up to the recipient to prove it's called statement of life, to show that your circumstances hasn't changed and that you're actually still alive. So I've said that to my wife. I said, one day when it stops, don't think, oh, Les said it's going to go on forever, but it stopped. So she's got the telephone number and the people to contact. So if one day my fire brigade pension does stop, I said it's just a proof of life to show that you are, one, still alive and that your circumstances haven't changed. So if you don't do that, Ploy, my wife, would have no idea who to phone. Who would she phone? You know, okay, she's quite good at English, but speaking to a person in England, finding the telephone number, who do you need to contact? So these are the things that you need to take care of whilst you're still away, because when you've gone, you're not there to ask, are you? It's an awful thing, dying, but we're all going to do it one day. I've taken out accident cover with Pacific Cross with a decent amount of cover. I'll change it to health insurance next year. Yeah, well, again, it all depends on your age. With Pacific Cross, I mean, like not Barclays Bank, Bangkok Bank have a accident insurance, and that's with a bank. My wife pays 6,000 baht a year for her accident insurance. She's still young and healthy, so medical insurance, we haven't got medical insurance for her, but she's also got the Thai card, which gives her reduced costs in public hospitals as well. Pacific Cross, if you're 65 or above, then you've got to have a bit of a medical to be accepted on Pacific Cross. And then there's a settling in term, which might be 6 months or to a year. So if you make a claim within that amount of time, you might not be covered for it. So I would say take out your medical insurance. You know, the earlier you take it, the better. I mean, Kevin in Thailand, who was one of my first vloggers that I got interested with regard to Thailand. Kevin in Thailand, he was 59-year-old, and he had in his mind, he said, when I'm 60, I'm going to take out medical insurance. And sadly, he was diagnosed with cancer at 59. So he couldn't get any insurance, and sadly, he died within the year. But had he had medical insurance already, you know, I took mine out at age 55. So I've had mine now for over 10 years. And so I'm covered for all sorts of things, and like pre-existing conditions. I didn't have any, but now I've got like rheumatoid arthritis, which was a pre-existing condition, but because I've not made a claim for 10 years, I'm covered again with that. And the same with emphysema. I didn't have emphysema when I took out the insurance 10 years ago. So I'm covered for that now if I have to make any claims. So take out medical insurance as young as you can, because you never know. This year might be the year that something starts, and then you won't be covered for that. I mean, if you have a stroke or if you've got diabetes and things like that, then you're in a whole different world and you might not get insurance cover for it. So take it out as young as you can. What are the options if you marry a Thai life insurance? No difference, really. If you marry a Thai person, you get no extra benefits here. I still think that the Thailand are missing a point here. If they opened up an insurance policy with the public hospitals, and let's face it, the public hospitals, you know, any hospital's always short of money, isn't it? So if they made the insurance premiums, you know, quite reasonable, the amount of foreigners that would take out, you know, the public hospital option, and that would probably be much cheaper than taking the insurance out that you take, like with Pacific Cross. But that's just a thought. That's just an idea. But I think they're missing the trick there. That they should, when all said and done, have some other alternatives or benefits. If you're married to a Thai person, then you can go onto the public health system. But who knows? I mean, that's just my idea. That's my thoughts. Whether it's going to happen or not, I don't know. And I don't think it ever will. I've been here for 13 years now, and there's no talk about things like that. But the amount of guys that I know that don't have medical insurance is phenomenal. I would say, out of 10 guys that I know more than 10 guys, but I would say out of 10 guys that I really know, there's only 2 of us have medical insurance. 2 of us out of the 10 people that I know. Everybody else doesn't have it, and they just think, well, I'll pay for it if I need it. But who knows? So yeah, that's it. That's it. What else we're going to talk about? I've got my little list of things I'm going to talk, and we've sort of covered all of that now. So yeah, we've been going for 2 hours now, and I think unless anybody's got any other questions, we'll drop it off early today because I've got 1 or 2 things to do, and it's been enjoy. I always enjoy these live streams. As I said, the wife looks at me because she said, you just look as if you're talking alone, which I am. I'm just talking to the camera and listen, looking at the questions that people have on here. But again, I'm a mind of information. If I haven't covered any of the topics that you're interested in, send me an email. I'll put my email address on here. Let's have a look. There you go, lesliepearson58@yahoo.com. If you've got any questions that you want answering, I don't mind giving the questions. If you've got some questions that you can ask, personal questions, there's nothing sort of you can't ask. If you want to ask some of the adult questions, because I've been there, seen it, done it, got the T-shirt, and I can answer any questions that you want. I've got various ebooks, as I say, with regard to internet dating and stuff like that. Some suggestions where you can find Thai women, how you negotiate the visas. I do also have a face-to-face chat session with WhatsApp. So if you want to have a chat, it's $10, whether it's for an hour or whether it's for 3 hours. And if you don't get the information that you're asking, then you don't pay the $10 either. And you only pay the $10 after the conversation's over and done with. So it's sort of a win-win situation. I can help people with regard to houses, visas, maybe it's not relationship advice, but I can help you look for the warning signs and things like that. All common sense, really, when all said and done. But it's also nice to talk to somebody who's been there, seen it, done it, got the T-shirt, and is living the life of it. Again, it's not a difficult life to live over here in Thailand. It's quite easy. It's not complicated, but it's a fantastic life, and I wouldn't want to change anything. Come on, guys. Very lazy with the thumbs up. I don't know how many thumbs up I've got, but as I said, there's 88, so every thumb counts. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. And until the next time, bye for now.